Imagine an ancient secret, buried deep within history, so powerful that those who knew of it kept it hidden, not because it didn't work, but because it was too effective. A key lost through the ages, capable of unlocking a door no one talks about, a door to your true essence, the core of your soul. This isn't about learning something new, it's about peeling away the illusions that have been placed over your eyes. The biggest deception wasn't making us ignorant, it was convincing us we are something separate from who we truly are. Think for a moment. What if today you could remember your purpose, your real purpose? What if instead of chasing answers outside, you found a voice inside that's been whispering all along, waiting for you to listen? And what if that voice could awaken through a simple, ancient technique, once reserved for a select few, hidden away by those who feared its power? This isn't a story of darkness, it's a story of light, shining so brightly that those in control fear it more than anything, because an awakened soul is the greatest threat to systems that prefer us asleep. Over the centuries, every ancient civilization carries this same quiet whisper, an idea that we've forgotten who we truly are, that life itself is like a fleeting dream, a veil separating us from our divine origin, that beneath the surface of everyday reality lies a sacred memory, waiting to be reignited. But here's the truth. These practices weren't recorded in textbooks or taught in churches. They were hidden, silenced, sometimes twisted into superstitions, locked away so no one could access their true power. In Egypt, secret rituals performed by priests guided initiates through symbolic death and rebirth, leaving behind the old, crossing into new awareness. When they returned, they remembered, they knew. In ancient Greece, the mysteries of the Orphic schools spoke of the soul's captivity in the body, not as a curse, but as a purification, breathing, chants, trance states, tools that would momentarily free the soul from the earthly shell and reveal its divine spark. These experiences, they claimed, were irreversible. They changed you forever. Meanwhile, in India, the wise seers, called rishis, spoke of smarana, the art of remembering what the soul already knows. Their teachings weren't about accumulating facts, but about unlearning, about internal detachment, about quieting the mind and aligning your vibrations to reconnect with your true self, your original state of being. Across all these cultures, the essence was the same. It's not about acquiring new knowledge from outside. It's about reconnecting with the internal memory, an eternal blueprint hidden deep within. Then, darkness fell. Religious conflicts, dogma, the rise of external authority. These forces fractured and buried the sacred. What once was a path of awakening became ritualistic routines, dogmatic rules, or outright taboo. Symbols hidden in myths, teachings sealed away as dangerous, because once a person remembers who they truly are, they can no longer be controlled. But now, that knowledge is rising again, not as something new, but as a long-forgotten memory awakening in those prepared to receive it. And the most astonishing part? This forbidden technique has always been inside you, waiting in the depths of your consciousness, just silent, patiently waiting for your recognition. To unlock its power, we need to shift how we see ourselves. The truth is, your soul doesn't need to learn who it is. It needs to remember. And that remembrance doesn't come from thinking hard or collecting more facts. It comes from tuning into a specific frequency, a vibration that, when activated, causes everything false to fall away and reveals what's real, what's eternal. How do you reach this frequency? The method isn't about words or external ceremonies. It's an inner process, aligning your body, your mind, your energy, your consciousness, until, through resonance, your true memory emerges, not as an idea, but as an experience, alive, vibrant, undeniable. Picture your true self as a perfect melody, clear, pure, but covered by layers of noise, distractions, beliefs, past wounds, conditioning. This technique acts like a tuner, not adding anything new, but removing what muffles that melody. It's about clearing out the static and restoring harmony. As you do this, the original song begins to play again, loud, true, and beautiful. This process unfolds in 3 vital phases. They don't have to follow a strict order, but all are essential. First, deprogramming the false self. The hardest step, recognizing the voices inside that aren't really yours. Those thoughts you've accepted without question, masks you wear without realizing. You start asking, what am I truly thinking? What do I want? What am I afraid of? And then you question, are these mine, or were they handed to me? This isn't about fighting your mental habits. It's about seeing them clearly and peeling away the layers that aren't authentically yours. Next, activating your inner perception. When the mental static begins to fade, something subtle yet profound emerges. An awareness you've always carried but rarely noticed. It's not logical or emotional. It's direct perception, an intuitive knowing. You don't force it, you tune into it. Through mindful breathing, silent meditation, and visual symbols, this inner sense awakens. And what you imagine with focus and devotion, your soul recognizes as real, creating bridges to memories long buried. Finally, connecting with what some traditions call your hidden name. Not a word, but a vibration unique to you. When you align with this sacred frequency, a door opens, a recognition that's felt deep in your core. It's as if you've been holding a lock, and now, with a gentle turn, it swings open. You don't remember with your mind. You remember with your vibration, an undeniable certainty. This is me. I've always been this way. I just forgot. This awakening isn't instant, but once begun, it's irreversible. A part of you begins to observe from a deeper stillness, seeing your life, your choices, your relationships from a new vantage point. The layers of illusion peel back, and suddenly, without effort, your soul begins to remember itself, like a light switch flicked on in a room you've always inhabited, but never truly seen. And in that moment, everything shifts. The body stays, life continues, yet inside, something has woken up that will never sleep again. This is why it's called a forbidden technique, because those who control the narrative fear this awakening more than anything. When you remember who you are, you become unstoppable. But remember, awakening isn't a one-time event. It's a path, an ongoing practice. A single moment of insight doesn't mean you've arrived. It's a seed planted in the fertile ground of your being. This technique isn't just about spiritual highs. It's a guide for everyday life. When you carry this awareness into your routines, your work, your relationships, your moments of stillness, you turn ordinary actions into sacred acts. First, practice silence, true silence, where your mind's chatter quiets and your inner voice speaks clearly. Dedicate a few minutes daily to simply breathe, observe, and allow. No expectations, no forcing, just presence. This is the space where your true name begins to echo softly through the silence. Second, make your daily actions a ritual, an act of presence. Whether you're eating, walking, speaking, or just being, do it with full awareness. Every gesture becomes a prayer, every word an invitation to remember. Ask, am I acting from my mask or from my essence? When you act from your soul, even the smallest things become sacred. Third, guard what you feed your mind. Your thoughts, images, conversations, they shape your inner vibration. Clear your environment, your digital space, your social circles, and tend to your attention like a master tending a sacred fire. What you focus on becomes your reality. Fourth, speak less, Speak from the depth of your being. Avoid empty words or repeating others' ideas. When you do speak, let your words come from that place of remembrance, words that awaken, inspire, and resonate. Your voice becomes a channel for truth, not just noise. Fifth, live as if you already know your true self, because in essence, you do. Even if you haven't fully remembered, act with the confidence of someone who has. Walk with the knowing that you carry an ancient legacy, love, trust, and truth that have been with you beyond this lifetime. Remember, you don't need to search, you only need to tune in. For ages, we've been told awakening is difficult, that it's a mystery beyond reach, that only a few can truly know. But that's a lie. The deepest truth is simple, close, and accessible. It's what those in power fear most. The truth that you are already complete. The only thing standing in your way is forgetting. This journey isn't just about ideas, it's a map, a beacon for those who feel the call within. Something beyond the roles, labels, and stories we've been handed. You are more than your name, your job, or your history. You are a spark in the infinite cosmos, a note in the eternal symphony. Your true memory is alive, waiting to be reawakened. And here's the beauty. The technique I share isn't something outside of you. It's not a secret. It's a fundamental part of who you are, your original blueprint, your primal memory. All you need to do is quiet the noise, return to your center, and listen. Your soul, full of infinite wisdom, is already waiting to show you what it's always known. Remembering who you truly are isn't just about changing your thoughts. It's about shifting how you see everything. You stop perceiving enemies and start seeing reflections. You stop fearing what's ahead and start honoring it. You stop telling broken stories and begin creating from your deepest truth. When that truth comes alive, your entire world transforms. You'll find you no longer seek approval because you're connected to something greater. You no longer need all the answers because your silence has become a well of wisdom. You stop chasing fleeting love because you realize you are love itself. This isn't just a promise, it's an invitation, one that takes courage to accept. The path to remembering is beautiful, but it's not always easy. It will strip away everything that isn't truly you, then rebuild you anew, facing what you've hidden, so you can step into your authentic self. If this message resonates, if something inside stirs with recognition, don't let your mind dismiss it. Subscribe. Share this with anyone who needs to remember. They're waiting too. Because the greatest revolution begins with an awakened soul. When you remember, others will follow, without force, without dogma, and the world will start to change from the inside out, one awakening at a time. You're not here to learn something new, you're here to remember what's always been inside you, and that remembrance has already begun.